Hello, this section of the DevTest Product Expert Training will cover DevTest project structure and views. A DevTest system is actually made up of three different project types. We have knowledge projects, or in integration with KnowledgeWise, template-based projects, and work projects. Each DevTest system must have at least one knowledge project or be integrated with a KnowledgeWise project. Once you have a knowledge project, you can have one or more template-based projects that will be linked to that. And then, based on each template-based project can have a number of DevTest work projects associated with it. Using those three project types together will form your DevTest views, including the DevTest template view, planning view, task view, and the knowledge view. Each of those DevTest project types can be opened separately in the admin. So I can open up a knowledge-based project, a template-based project, or a work project separately and configure each of those projects. I need to configure each of those projects to determine the UI, the workflow, as well as the project members that will be included in each of those projects. Additional expert training videos will cover configuration of each of the projects. Based on my configuration in the knowledge base project, users will see those changes in the knowledge view of DevTest. Or a DevTest system might actually be integrated with a KnowledgeWise project. In either case, the knowledge view that's seen in the client by the end user is going to be based on the configuration made in either the knowledge base project or the KnowledgeWise project. So that as I look at my knowledge view, the UI settings, the workflow, and the project members will all be determined by the changes made to either the knowledge base project in DevTest or your KnowledgeWise project. The next project type I'd like to discuss is a DevTest template-based project. The template-based project ends up being your DevTest test library, and all of the configuration that is done in the template-based project will make up the UI, workflow, project members, as well as many of the advanced features of DevTest, including environment variables and verification points, will be determined by the changes you make in the template-based project. The template-based project will correspond to the UI that a user sees when they're in the template view. And finally, the last project type that I'll be discussing today is the sample or the DevTest work project. A DevTest work project, when configured, will configure both the DevTest planning view and task view for a particular project. As I mentioned before, in a DevTest system, you may have multiple work projects connected to the same template-based project. In either case, the work project configuration will determine what the user sees in the planning view in terms of what fields might be present on the DevTest planning wizards, what summary reports are going to be present in the planning view, and what the UI is going to look like in the task view. Specifically, what fields will be used for the task, what the workflow will be, what tabs the user will see, and whether or not a user has access to the work project and what their permissions are. So configuration of each of these three project types will determine what the end user's experience is in DevTest. Please watch some of the other expert training videos to learn about configuring each of these project types.